happenings.
The thing was, that was one of those impossible situations where as outsiders, you don't really have enough... Because it's all about the context, and it's all about what people had actually told each other. Like, it's not the human aspect of the relationship between those players, which we can't really we don't have in our purview.
Well, and to this day, like I believe like Valve had seen a lot of the emails between Era and the team, but it's like there was other communication that happened between the team members, like whether it's calls in person. Like Valve doesn't even know the full story. You know, they just went off of what they had, which was basically we're going to protect the individual and the players when in doubt.
Which is why it's also very important. I learned this lesson early through a couple of mistakes. Anything you say over email, in a chat log, Twitch chat, can and will be used against you. Maybe not even in court of law, but a court of public opinion. And second, if you don't have any evidence, it's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
Mm-hmm.
So be really wary of people that are trying to get you to sign napkins and handshakes and seedy bars. Looking at you, LD. Because you never know who might be left out in the cold when it comes time to actually pay the piper.
You really just can't restrain yourself when it comes to like using phrases and analogies
little
and
slogans.
Stuff. Like, now he's sleeping with the fishes. Like, Carl, you could just say he's dead. You like it doesn't work, and but you can't help yourself. You have to use some sort of like.
It's
phrase.
more fun. It's more fun to use colorful language.
Your old friend would give you this advice.
Get back.
And you're just like, no.
I'm
going to keep on charging forward.
It's true.
Yeah.
The only offense is an offensive.
So, the original part of this conversation,
regarding the Fnatic
X
situation
is broken.
Yeah. Oh,
we're
back to Dota.
You guys wanted to talk like you guys said. Basically, we can't really.
No, the X is broken.
Can't really say
because I've followed maps to X's before, and there's never anything there. So there's something off about it.
See, like I can't even get it back for like literally 5 seconds.
No, he's like that. He's like that kid who just keeps on stealing your pencil, and you're just trying to do your homework. You know.
Well,
so I feel very strongly that the combination of low cooldown, cast range, and actually it's mostly just those two. Like one of those things has to get nerfed. The catch mechanism of X is way too easy. The cast range of how far you can catch people is insane, combined with that kind of cooldown. You can't have a low cooldown and a high cast range like that.
Here's what it does. So here's what you do to rework the skill. You say X marks the spot, and it's like instead of clickable, maybe it's targeted, or you X someone, right? So you're X back to this position from this other position. So I cast X on you, but then I've got to target, much like Torrent, but it would be instant cast on your position, actually bring you back to the X.
Wait, so you choose where they go back to instead of...
So I cast X and the animation starts.
You click on a hero.
Click on the hero. So I cast it on you, all right? And then for 4 seconds, I've got to like kind of time it, and then boom,
So you're saying you should be able to choose where you reposition them to. That sounds more broken.
No, I've got to catch them in the radius to actually bring them back.
So he's saying it would break the.
Oh, it's like one of the claw machines where you're trying to get like the little trinkets out of them that steal your money.
Would that fix it for it? Would that fix your problem?
I have no clue
it sounds funny.
Mechanic was, honestly.
Dom could sell a cosmetic around the claw.
Okay. So the best hero in all of Han history was Kraken, and they changed this eventually. But Kraken, okay, it was similar to like our Tidehunter. So it had Magnus Skewer, and then the ultimate was Whirlpool, and you created a jacuzzi like back under your tier 4s. You'd charge forward, right, and then blink. And after the 6 seconds, or you could activate it, you would suck everything within 400 units around you back to the jacuzzi inside your base.
And it was doing damage, right? I believe it also did damage.
Yes, and slowed. So you would just out of nowhere grab people. You could also TP. So you could like cast it, teleport tier 1, blink and grab somebody, and then they're in your base.
It was like a Darkseer Tidehunter combo hero.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
That was pretty gross.
This is good times. There were a lot of games.
had some fun heroes. I like Chipper. Chipper was fun.
Of course you did. And it made you feel happy. It made you feel chipper. And then, what do you know? You're happy. Did you know happiness...
It is going to be a core Magnus, by the way.
Happiness starts, like... It's really weird. We don't really understand how emotions are generated. But if you do actions that you tend to associate with happiness, you'll actually become happy. The actions precede feeling the emotion. So if you're feeling down...
Fake it until you make it.
Exactly. Just do the things that would make you happy. Go out dancing, talk to your friends, exercise. And before you know it, things will be ever so slightly better.
I don't think exercise is on that list, by the way.
Why?
Well, I don't think exercise. You're saying, like, do the things that would make you happy, like smile, and you're more likely to feel happy at some point, right? You're saying something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think exercise fits into that category because exercise releases endorphins, and I also think there's a lot of people who don't associate exercise with having fun.
I'm not one of those people. It's not fun.
Like, a lot of people don't like going jogging. You know, there are some people.
But
out
once
there,
you get over the,
when
you get over
but
the
nobody's
hump.
like, like I usually have fun jogging, so I'm gonna jog. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things if you're feeling depressed or stuff, but I think exercise was maybe not.
You're right, and exercising is kind of sucks. It's hard.
We don't approve this message.
We
want you guys to exercise so you can live longer, game more, be happy.
There is a really good line that I like, which is anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, right? So maybe, as an example, you don't exercise or you forget to floss. Well, that's okay. You don't need to do it all the time, but just do it some of the time. And also, look at me, right? Casting is definitely worth doing. And here I am.
Are you telling everyone to cast?
No. Don't. God knows competition would completely cripple the Dota 2 casting. All of us would be fired.
You really think that?
Well, it's already started for me. I'm not getting hired for the minor.
Wait, you're not hired for the minor?
No, I'm not.
Wait, I'm not hired for the minor.
Really? Aren't you local?
Wait, do you know anybody who maybe has some control over who's hired for this upcoming
I heard
minor?
it's like these Beyond the Summit guys.
Yeah, those assholes, man. They never hire me for
pricks,
summits. God damn it. I'm 20 minutes away.
They might hate America.
What? Didn't you drive here, Cap? You're
I
local.
did.
You'd be really cheap.
20 minutes away. You don't have to pay for my flight.
You could give him a higher
you
talent
don't have
rate
to pay for my hotel
to make up for it.
You know what? I'll take my regular talent rate. How about that?
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm
saving you money.
I hope we find someone from the minor that we could talk to about this.
Yeah, that would be good. You're missing out.
We'll have to find that person. Who could it be? I think he comes to this building sometimes. But not today. You might even be subbing for him right now.
So a couple of really interesting things. They did stick with the core Magnus. There was a possibility of a 4 Magnus just because Empower works really well with Jug Kunkka. And they used to be a thing. But it's actually Nip who are going to throw the curveball in the 4 position, which is a 4-position Sand King.
30 seconds
which I don't really agree with. But maybe Biver will change my mind about it. Because I think what makes Sand King strong is Sandstorm.
So, offlane Mag. I know Kyle has panned this repeatedly. He's not a believer. We're going to see it again. Cap, what's your thoughts?
I think it's better suited for a 4 position, honestly, because I think Skewer is an okay mechanic for a support, but it's more that like core Magnus usually is the same as support Magnus in that he's a Blink RP bot and he's an Empower bot.
Mm-hmm.
He just does those 2 things well. It's pretty rare to see a Magnus core that actually turns into what like some Magnuses do, which they turn themselves into kind of a right clicker, where they're actually scary when they Blink RP you and they start swinging at you. Because they've built into some stat items after their regular.
So why do teams keep running it then?
Well, there's higher impact 4 positions for sure, and I think that maybe Singularity felt that in this draft, where they felt Earth Spirit would be a lot better suited for this game.
Hey, can we bring up as well, this is the first time Skeeter is going to be on the mid lane. Gunnar actually playing the safe lane. Nip typically, Peter doesn't switch things up like this very often. And it's just a much better, it's a much better matchup for the Razor, of course, middle. And Gunnar's Lesh is actually quite good.
And, I mean, it's a better matchup on both sides, right? Like, you have Magnus who would skewer away from every every static link, and then Leshrac actually does have an issue with Kunkka's heavy physical damage and Tidebringer harassment.
Yep.
So it just like works on both sides.
Yeah, so 1v1 bottom. It looks like Lesh having his way early on with the mag and in mid, leaving us with a try top. Seen this Kunkka Razor match a few times. Seems like Kunkka will usually still get his farm, but does get bullied a bit towards the tail end of the laning stage. So I think for me, the real question is, how's this top lane going to go? So far, no kills, but seems like both teams are trading blows and looking to fight soon. And they're going to make their move here onto the Axe of Universe. He drops quickly to the Blade Fury. PPD doesn't have his level 2 yet, so they lose their Axe.
I have to assume you're going to lose this tri-lane. Maybe pretty hard, because Juggernaut Spin is really dangerous. Crystal Nova does an insane amount of damage and a big AoE too. And I think 4-position Sand King is honestly bad. So,
damn.
Yeah. I think you have two heroes that are really good in that tri-lane on Singularity side.
Oh, Saberlight trying to skewer him into tower. Not able to do so. He's held that 3rd skill point for now.
But they have 1v1 lanes that they should control.
Speaking of that, Star-Crossed Sand King, he's in trouble. Burrows into the Crystal Maiden. He's going to take a few more auto attacks here with the slow from the Orb of Venom. Can they get the kill? Here comes the Axe to look to turn it around. Peksu in some danger. The poison stacking up. 3 stacks already. PPD popping the mango. Whiffs on the 4th. Peksu into the pit. Going to try to get the Roshanai. Not happening. So they do retaliate.
No big deal. Like, that was so value that he pulled them so far away from the lane. And he's going to come back, and they're going to be ready to fight again. Whereas Peter used a good share of his mana.
Unfortunate for Gunnar. Saberlight with the free fountain trip.
Oh, that is pretty unfortunate.
PPD already looking for a possible deny here. Aggroing the creeps. Now heading down into the river. Looks like he'll likely fall. Hits the Fairy Fire. Has the salve. He's popping everything to try and live. There is a burrow in a few seconds. He's still going to die. The kills continue, and so now it descends into just Axe versus Jug as they'll chase Biver back to the tower. Universe getting a little farm time off of that.
His Axe has been on point this whole qualifier, and it's the 2nd time I've seen Nip use this later pick Axe to counteract Jug line or Mag lineups. You can assume there's going to be this really hard right-clicking melee carry.
Gunnar dueling with Saberlight, who's found himself under the tower. He's got the shockwave. Oh no! Misses, and Gunnar's going to secure the kill. And now back for Universe. There's the disruption up on the top side of the map. He does turn around, throws out the Battle Hunger on Excalibur. The nuke's raining in. Can they kill him off with the poison? They might need a 3rd stack. Oh no, with the Battle Hunger, he'll tick down, and they can go for Peksu as well. The damage turning back the other direction. Universe finding an additional grab here, and that isolates Peksu, who suddenly is done for. A double kill. So NIP make it 4-3. They come right back into this game.
And they're giving the goal to Universe, too. This is the dream. He gets ahead. All of a sudden, he just farms top alone. He's got... Dude, he's dumpstering this Jug lane.
PPD is going to get the disruption off. He's probably getting a kill on the Earth Spirit off of this. Quick TP.
Gunnar in trouble, though.
We'll make it.
Or is he?
2 times in a row now. Gunnar just slightly able to outplay the Mag.
Oh,
and while that's happening, Mage dies mid. So all 3 lanes now becoming a train wreck. A 2,000 and then some gold lead for NIP.
Did you guys know that Crystal Maiden, she didn't have a self war before, right?
Correct.
When it was doubled, it used to be 4. You know what it is now?
What?
8.5 when it's maxed out.
Wow.
You know how many times IceFrog buffed that number? I just remember seeing like every other patch, you would just buff it up a little bit more. And I'm just like, dog, this isn't going to change the hero that much.
Dog, I heard you like mana with your mana.
Like, she's not spamming spells like a
put
Shadow
some more
Demon.
mana on it.
Anyway, I was just looking through some of the changes that Crystal Maiden received. lately, because it feels like Crystal Nova is just like a boss ability in lane lately. I've played against so many Crystal mains lately. 4.5 seconds slow in lane, and against in this big of an AoE against a tri-lane, it's going to be mega effective. Meanwhile, Sand King with his 200 range Burrow Strike or something. Honestly, that cast range is so pitiful. It's so hard to get close enough to people.
Yeah, that's a... you think that's a product of the hero picks or just like this generation, right? Because it feels like social media in a lot of ways has removed our need for human contact.
Are you talking
it's so much harder to form those deep relationships, right?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Moving on.
It's just hard to get close to people nowadays. Cap, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you.
I honestly don't think Kyle listens to any Dota points anymore. He just searches for avenues to talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
I thought I was right on topic.
He would start a podcast, but he likes having a captive audience of 10,000 people who are actually there for the game.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, is that if I advertised it as a podcast, I'd get
How
like
many
7
viewers would you get, Kyle?
Believe me, I do a podcast, so let me tell you.
No one watches.
No one watches it.
So here I am. So given that this has just become your personal podcast, we don't have to pay you, right? Like,
well,
you're getting the exposure. You're getting the exposure that you so desperately crave. And surely that's enough.
It's not the exposure, it's the attention.
Well, both.
I don't care what it does for.
Oh, Gunner's committing to the tower.
He wants it.
Got it?
He wants it bad.
Get
and
the
he's
tower
not gonna get it.
Almost a hero kill and a tower instead.
And instead, a big fat 0. That's a feels bad. Fiverr with the nice body blocks here, and Dunchika will drop 7-4.
You know, I was going to say, like, oh, hey, he got a Burrow Strike, but he had a haste rune. Of course he was able to get level 1 Burrow Strike off.
Skeeter? Hello.
Oh, pushed into the tower with the RP after being skewered out. They're going to try to keep him alive with the disruption, but Skeeter is surrounded. He does do some heavy damage here. He's taking them all down. Is he going to get 4? Oh, he ends up falling just barely, though. This Razor is a fearsome beast.
And while that happened, they pressured the Juggernaut at top lane. They didn't kill him, but they initiated on him, killed his healing ward, and effectively forced him to TP out. He has to farm bottom now.
And now they're going to lose this tower mid.
Yeah, totally free for Universe. So they won 2 lanes at once, basically, with that play.
Man, Nip just is so much better at applying this early pressure. It's the 2nd game in a row. This time they have a lane advantage. Previous one they were behind. They still dominated once the rotations began, and it doesn't look like anything's changed. Shit, Uni's already halfway to a blink. They've got three towers before 10 minutes as soon as this top one falls.
And you're up against a mag lineup. You know, these guys want to sit back and stack creeps and farm them. They are not going to have such an easy time doing it. They'll try to counter the pressure here bottom, but Magnus has not done all that much damage to the tower. In comes your Sand King with the Burrow Strike Sandstorm. Able to deep-push this rather rapidly. There's 2 heroes in the neighborhood, but they skewer him back. Fiverr may have bit off more than he can chew. They're going to force out the TP. Roll off the mark, and now the Omni Slash committed. They really want this kill, but Gunner's there looking for the punish. Excalibur Blade fearing out, and meanwhile Universe taking some nuke damage, but he'll be okay. In comes Skeeter now, looking for the dive. He's going to commit onto Mage, stealing his damage, turning back, flashing the Crystal Maiden, and IP with the retort, still holding onto those towers, most important.
That's kind of cool. A Yule's build instead of like the Rod of Atos build. I think that's just solely because, well, I guess it's not just Kunkka. It's got Juggernaut too, right? Yule's effective for both.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It's just a good Yule's game in general.
Yeah.
That's the one counterplay to the X, is to chuck yourself up in the air. Hold up, we got RP active. X lands. Saberlight.
PPD. They're trying to find the 2-hero RP. Jams it in. Gets the ultimate off. Crystal Maiden to follow it up. And they're going to get the secondary kill, too. Delaying that Blink Dagger. Getting some momentum. Very nicely done by Singularity. And a ray of hope for them in a game that's looked pretty one-sided.
But Kyle's right. I think the Yule's it's a really good Yule's game. It would be even better if Axe was on the enemy team.
Yeah. understand.
I was talking about Razor's, Skeeter's, Yules.
Yeah, I know.
And you said, yeah, it's the only way to counter Axe. Like, it's a good Yules game. It's the only way to counter Axe. And I'm like,
what? No, I didn't
Axe
say
is
Axe.
on his team.
I said Ags.
Axe what?
Ags. Omnislash from the Juggernaut. You want to be able
You
to...
can't fool me, Kyle.
Time out,
you
Kyle.
can't recover it.
Time out.
No, but I think I must have misspoke, because what I was trying to say is, like, these delayed damage sources, you know, the Magnetize, the Kunkka spells. X! I said X! That's what I said.
Ah, he's
explains
found
it.
another alternative version of reality.
I was like, what did I say? It was
This
X.
one suits him better.
Okay, no, that does make sense. But yes,
I was listening to you. I don't
really
just
good
ignore
versus
you.
Axe. Really good versus Omnislash.
It's only me that you're ignoring, Kyle.
Huh?
I heard Axe and I was like, what the hell is Kyle talking about?
That, you know, maybe this is just because I'm a dumbass, but my favorite type of humor is, like, the real basic stuff, you know? Like, you can count. It's probably all started with my damn dad.
It all started back when my
This is the
grandma
start of every Kyle Anhouse.
was a wee little
It all
lady.
started back in Han.
Malakin never treated me well, so then I went to Ice Frog. He's been kind to me. They're not being kind to Skeeter, though. That Yule Scepter is not going to save him here.
Dude, why doesn't he have upgraded boots, man? What kind of Razor build is this?
Yeah.
This is real weird.
It's going straight into the hood.
But yeah, my dad was the sort, he'd say, hey, anybody want me to make him a bagel? And we'd be like, oh, you can make me a bagel. And he'd say, poof, you're a bagel. And that was the height of hilarity to my father.
Well, Gunner not going to connect here on the stun. Still chasing forward. Spin, though. He's in trouble. He's overextended. You are not a Monkey King this game. He will pay. So NIP, after a hot start, I think they're up by like 5K. Now basically down to even.
You're still supposed to go face boots on Razor, right?
Yes. Or, I mean, treads are fine, too. You can even save for bots. I'm not a fan of, once again, seeing defensive items. Buy a casual drums into the Yules if you want. You don't have one on your team.
Yeah, I don't get the point of the Hooded Defiance if he was going to go Yules.
Yes.
Like, that was supposed to be his counter to the X and that magic damage that's coming in. Like,
What?
I mean, if you're going to go the Hood, just go the Hood initially.
Yeah.
Then. Don't go the Yules, go the Rod of Atos. You'll be a super statty build. I thought it was an interesting choice, but going back for the Hood makes it questionable.
Agreed.
They found Excalibur here in the river. Has the healing ward spinning up to the ground. They're going to purge. Do they commit for this? Last time they went into the shrine, it turned out to be a big mistake. And while that's going on in the middle lane, Hexu isolated, picked off, chasing forward, looking for Saberlight. The blink call is there. Universe on the case. Jams it in.
Yep. Typical Nip. They get the blink dagger. They have the tools to find kills, and what do you know? They execute.
That was an execution. That's for damn sure. So now PPD immediately roaming towards top. A mage is already TPing out. He is very close to the Sacred Relic. So Radiance on the horizon. Can the Kunkka turn this one around, buy some space for his team? You are up against a mag lineup with 2 melee carries.
Speaking of the horizon, doesn't that just prove the Earth is round? Like, how can you believe the Earth is flat when you literally can see the curve? Like, we can see it if you look out in any direction, right? Like, how about the shadows chain? Never mind. 15 minutes in.
But there are people who believe the Earth is flat.
I know.
A lot of people.
I know.
And we're not trying to alienate you flat earthers, so we're going to move on by that controversy of Kyle's.
Controversy, Kyle.
Controversy, Kyle strikes once again.
If you were a superhero, that would be your superpower. Creating controversy.
I know my fellow Americans are waking up right now, so let's just nip that one in the bud, right?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, we've lost half the American audience, I think. 3 NA casters have managed to alienate half the American audience. How fucked up is that?
Technically, we're not all 100% American.
Radiant's middle
What is
tower
American
has
anyway?
fallen.
What do you
Exactly.
mean? What do you mean,
Dire's
Kyle?
top tower is
I'm
under attack.
100% American.
NIP looking to brawl,
When you think of America, right, what do you think
but
of?
Singularity are running away. Not you. Not you, Kyle.
I
I'm just saying.
I want to know what Kyle's trying to get to.
No, I don't think we don't. We don't. No, we can. We can
No,
just
no.
move on.
Now that he wants to
Okay.
move on, let's talk about it.
No, no.
Kyle, what do you mean?
No.
I mean, obviously,
But
you
really-
have something you think of when you hear the word America.
No, I don't. That's the thing.
They're going to dive here on Bivert. Well timed with the Burrow Strike, though. They still chase deeper, committing Pexu's ultimate. Freezing Field coming through, and with an extra boulder there, they will get the kill.
Dire's top tower is under
Gunner
attack.
shoving in this top lane. NIP are flexing elsewhere on the map, trying to keep the pressure flowing. But yeah, I mean, to your earlier point, Cap, this 4-position Sand King having a pretty rough time. He's getting back into the game now, finally.
I mean, you could see that, like, my point and Nib's feeling on it as well is that even though they have this 4-position Sand King, they're not really trying to utilize him. He's
No.
being a tower defender with Sandstorm, and he only picked up Epicenter now that he's level 9.
Yep.
They feel like he's really only going to be useful once he has level 2 Epicenter and Blink Dagger.
Yep.
And he is close to that.
So
he's going to become a scary hero soon.
So really, it's more like they treated him like a 3.5.
Oh my. Oh no. Uni?
Rolling in is Dunchka. He is tanking Pulse Nova, and there's Universe. Big call. Catching out to RP. Only on the Lesh can they burst him down. Everyone running into the Pulse Nova. He gets disrupted. They're melting, getting absolutely chewed up, and now Sand King's arrived.
Uni.
A secondary call. Sahil O'Neal on point. Ouch.
God. Damn.
His axe has definitely been his best hero of the qualifier.
He is, and this is partly why you want to blink on Biver, because Uni, this man is the ultimate turn a fight arounder. All right, his whole life, the Voids, the Enigmas, the Darkseers, now the Axe.
Middle tower is under
He
attack.
might not have that same killer instinct like a lot of those bloodthirsty initiator type offlaners have,
Dire's
but he's got the
structures are
sense of when and where he
Dire's
needs to
middle
get
tower is
down
under attack.
and dirty, and he comes through big.
Can you play that one again, honestly? Love Grant.
Who doesn't love Grant?
Communist.
You want to talk about the most American person in the world?
Oh, it's Grant.
Grant's on that list.
Goddamn American icon. Grant's actually, I think, probably the best of us.
He used to be the worst of us.
Yeah, but he's
For those who
changed
know
his
Grant
skin.
in the old days.
Yeah.
And is there anything?
Is there anything more American than
Exactly.
such a compelling
Were you guys ever
comeback
like
story?
Grant fans, but from a distance?
Yes, always.
I was a Grant fan from a distance. I would watch his stream, but I would never say anything in the chat.
I
Nope.
first met Grant at TI2, I want to say, and he had his buddy there who had a camel pack. And they were just drinking beer all day. Let's
On
just say
brand.
rather inebriated. And
Has fallen.
now here he is,
Yeah.
working TI,
Radiant's
providing
bottom
insight,
tower is under
making
attack.
every Dota event
Radiant structures
great.
are fortified.
He's a true redemption story.
Dire's top
You know what's
tower
funny is that
under
Grant
attack.
doesn't really like. Grant doesn't party anymore, but when he does, woo, Nelly.
This'll come in handy.
Oh, look at this! They're painting the bounty rune. Pexu.
Oh, juicy gold. You want it, Pexu, don't you, buddy? He's done for it. Now, Universe,
for more.
he senses opportunity here. He's going to get silenced. Do they engage? Saberlight, not seeing his opening just yet. The Omni Slash coming through, but there's the defensive disruption. And
Oh, then the
be
purge
just
onto the
fine
jump.
for now. Universe is going to survive. They're going to go back the other way. Gunner coming in. RP committed. They are trying to lock down and finish off this Lesh. They will be able to do so. Now, Universe low on the run, blinking out a very discombobulated fight. But Skeeter, the healthy core who remains, but he's walking into trouble.
look at
Epicenter,
the
there we
Epi!
go! Biver with the save. Is he going to get the damage out? Pexu survives. No, it's not enough, but Gunner's come back in. He's rejoined the fight with the buyback. Can finish them. Will finish them. Pexu down. Make it 4. We don't get the 5.
What a buyback.
But NIP looking good.
Done Daddy coming back on the second life, cleaning it up, and once again, Universe
Radiant
making the
are scanning.
plays.
That was, I mean, I don't even know if that was Universe making the plays. I think
Oh, he was saying Gunner.
Oh, Gun. What?
You were saying Gunner making
He was saying
the plays,
Gun
right?
Daddy, and then he said Universe making the plays.
Oh, okay. I guess I just tuned out.
I think Singularity had a really cool idea for that fight, right? They lose a Crystal Maiden for the Boundary Rune. That's whatever. They say, we're going to fight on this high ground. CM has buyback. And it was actually, I think, a really good idea to take that fight, but they overcommitted to Universe, who got saved by a single disruption.
Disruption has been changing these fights.
Yeah. It stopped Omni Slash, and it helped him dodge the boat.
And that's the problem. That's the problem with Jug strats against multiple Yules and disruptions, because you can see that he actually tried to TP out, so he omnied. It got completely negated, and then during spin thought about TPing before realizing the fight was somewhat 50-50, so he could stay around. But you can't reliably use the spell that actually does damage for you. Jug's real-time DPS is low. The Omni, as we saw in the previous game, what was it? Skeeter, when he was playing the Jug in that final game up against, was it Ad Finum? Whoever the hell they were playing, our first series. He killed 2 heroes in an Omni Slash. You don't have that same opportunity.
Hold that thought, Kyle. Here they go. They don't have the RP. They've smoked directly into trouble. The Burrow Strike coming through. A lot of damage being done. Pexu with the big Crystal Maiden ultimate. Is he going to finish off these kills? Byver scurrying away with the haster, and he gets out safely. Skeeter just tanking everything with that completed pipe. PPD's also in danger. Coming back in hot and heavy with the epicenter, but I don't think they have the follow-up damage. They're winning this fight for now. Skeeter's about to be finished off by the Blade Fury. They get the kill on him.
Uni?
2 cores down. Uni gets 1 to retaliate. Now can he make it out safely? No, the Jug purged the call. The turnaround, though, he's got another dunk. There's the disruption. Suddenly, it's Pexu surrounded. Who are they going to go for? Universe out of mana. Can't actually go for that, but they will trade 3 for 4 in the end. Jug, the lone dire survivor.
Dude, these fights are so chaotic.
I just think Singularity is just not executing very well when it comes to these fights.
They didn't have RP for that fight.
Yeah, the Skewer took everybody out of the freezing field, for one example. How did a 2-man call go off when they were the ones initiating on Singularity?
No clue.
I don't know how that happened, but they just pretty much walked into Universe to give him a free call initiation, which ended up being a Burrow Strike follow-up. You could see how Singularity can win these fights, but they keep on, mis-executing and then just barely lose as a result.
And this fight this whole game is different. If Skeeter, instead of going for this hood into pipe, he bought a pipe before his BKB. It's similar to when I see people pick up a Lincoln's and then BKB. I figure that if you needed that item after anyway, why get the survivability if you're going to have spell immunity? But you know,
what's the point of going magic resistance and a Yules, which doesn't give you any stats, when you could have gotten Rod of Atos, which would have the stats to make that pipe even better?
Exactly. You are picking up what I'm putting down, Cap, and I love it.
It's looking spicy. That being said, Singularity might still be able to turn around just off of, again, they have this one fight, one combo power, where if they hit a good enough RP with the Empower Omni Slash, they can demolish Snip.
Yeah, I feel like the tide is turning as far as just that meat grinder evaluation of the game, where they are just going to outpunch them, but do they get a good fight? Pexu's out in front. There's the RP, but no, the Yule Scepters again are just really infuriating for Singularity to try and deal with. And now Skeeter with the BKB turns onto Excalibur, going to isolate him. His Omni Slash is cooling down, but I don't know if it's enough damage, and Universe is there to prevent it. He gets the call. They will get the kill. This Razor's pretty scary. Full HP, just chewing through the back
280 damage.
Turning onto Mage. Universe, you can't focus him when he's got this Blade Mail active. At least Mage doesn't want to. Skeeter getting a lot of kills here. He's going to get 4. Can he get the 5th? No, Saberlight makes it up.
Dude, what is up with these fights? Everyone's just dead. It's just a roulette. They're playing Russian roulette, but the whole goddamn gun is loaded. It's just the last one alive. It's like, well, I guess we don't have to play. Everybody else lost, so I know that I'm safe now.
Another, again, the little things, right? They go in, they have this X, and they know where the torrent's going to be, but he skewers them past the torrent and RPs away from the torrent. You get the torrent, the Yule Scepter, self-Yules doesn't go off. They burst down, what was it, the Sand King? At least in that really quickly. The other hero was saved by Disruption from Peter. They also need to find a way to, they either need a really great RP that hits 3 heroes, that way one Disruption doesn't stop everything, or they got to find a way to stop what Peter's doing. That's going to be entirely on DNC. He's got the near instant disable of geomagnetic grip. He's got to find Peter and shut him down.
Yep. It's kind of crazy. Every time that we see some sort of RP or Omni going off, it's the same thing. Oh, nice. Peter's going to get a free. Oh, this could be bad for the Jug, actually. He gets stunned.
They're going to set up here, try to lock that Kunkka down. Can they finish him off? He's fine for now. Going to back away, but they chase Biver. They've latched onto the Sand King. X to bring him back. He's going to Yules to deal with that. The stun connects on 2. Big plays here from the Lesh.
Oh,
but wow! Call, huge from Universe. Skeeter's there with the BKB, chewing them up. Just standing strong against Pexo. His ultimate very ineffective. They're going to lose 2, likely 3. Everybody scatters to the win. Saberlight wants to get out. They don't have RP for this fight either. And NIP win again.
What they think was going to happen?
I don't know.
You just like you sit 3 heroes all around a disruption or whatever. And you just all sit there. You think no spells are going to get cast? Like Excalibur doesn't hit spin. He gets stunned by the Leshrac from the trees. They get 3-man called. Like, that, of course that's going to happen, guys. They have AoE disables. Like, why do you just assume that the one hero that you ran into is mega dead? I don't know. The positioning is just like off from Singularity. Like, why are you sitting 3 heroes around the hero that's very dead?
I don't know.
As long as the Excalibur just spins.
How are you in a position to get 3 cores called?
I don't know, man.
Well, you won't have to know for much longer, Cap.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, no, the ad fit him. They ran the ad fit him. Oh,
Fiverr gets it.
that's how it's supposed to look, LD. You just get the tower and get out.
Yeah,
you don't
see
think about it.
They didn't stick around for
Yeah,
Piper
they're
either.
like, yeah,
they're like,
good luck,
you
buddy.
get it, but
Good
we're
luck.
out of here.
Good luck.
Dire's top
Yeah, the
shrine
timing is
under
really
attack.
off for Singularity. Like, they keep on taking fights while RP's on cooldown. They're
Yeah.
grouping up for the calls. They're also fighting
And-
without vision in a lot of these fights, which is definitely hurting them.
And think about how impeccable your timing has got to be to properly experience a Singularity. It's literally one moment of time. And I've got to say, for this Dire squad, I think it's past.
I agree. Their time is not now.
Dire's top
But it could be
barracks
later.
under attack.
They have a mag.
Yeah, one moment, one opportunity.
It's all it takes. As
all it takes.
the
Just-
famous
just
philosopher
one
Eminem once said.
You can, and shout out to PPD, though. 23 assists. He had an on-point Jakiro in that previous game. This man wants to go back to the minor. He's won the last 2, and he's planning on coming to Los Angeles to defend his crown.
I've spent enough time with Peter to know that's not going to be what he's thinking. I can't wait to go back to the minors. Like, how the fuck are we not
look,
a major?
PPD is about the Benjamins, and right now there's more money in minors. That's just how it goes. If you make the major,
you mean winning a minor and then going.
We
to the
matched
major.
it out, and you can earn, what was it,
Look,
an extra $10,000 split between the team?
no.
or 8,000?
No. You're assuming. Wait, but you keep the minor prize money even if you do well at the major. That's the thing.
Oh, you're assuming they're going to do well at the major.
Yes. Think about Vici Gaming. They won the minor, and then they won the DreamHack Major. They literally got extra 4th place money. It was like finishing 1st and 4th at the same event.
Damn, dog.
How
That's like
beast is that?
That's like an extra 0.5% of your TI money.
Hey, after interest, 20 years down the road.
Dota players are definitely thinking 20 years down the road about their future.
No, on a serious note, TI has so much fucking money. Like, is it really necessary? Do you know how hard it is to make $3 million? Like, do you know how hard that is? And then 6th place gets like 600 grand? Do you know what I'd have to do to make 600 grand in a year?
That's never mind.
not family friendly. We're not going to discuss it.
That's a lot of services, Kyle.
This Razor is now pretty big. Has an Assault Cuirass added to his arsenal. Full defense mode.
You got the Link talent as well, plus the armor talent, so he's at 35.
He's getting a maximum damage steal every fight.
Yeah, 3 melee cores.
And an Earth Spirit. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
great.
Earth Spirit.
Are under attack.
Oh,
Hexu's
found
outside
another
the base,
pick off.
so-
Singularity just getting spread out too much, and this is what, pick number 4 while we've been chatting, that they've
Dire's
given up a
bottom
kill. And
shrine
on the back
is
of that,
under attack.
NIP securing more map control.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
penning them up in their base. I haven't seen them really force the issue too hard on high ground yet, just that tier 3.
I think that's a lot of what Dota is about right now. It's just, once you get your advantage, control the game. The days of like, oh, we have an advantage, go high ground, like that's...
The game can just turn
way
too fast if you make one mistake.
So better to just control, take over the enemy triangle. It's the same on Radiant as it is Dire. Take over the triangle and keep the off lane and mid lane pushed in.
But you ever notice how Nip just does it better than other teams? Like, this is what, the 3rd game in a row? They're going to kill a tier 3 before the racks, kill both shrines, then they're going to kill Roche, then they're going to look for the conclusive fight. So they're picking and choosing their moments to get aggressive. They don't want to fight with like a 7k lead. They want to get it all the way up to 15 plus Aegis. Oh, he's X'd though! He's X'd! He's X'd!
And he gets dragged back with a sliver of HP. The BKB on the run. Can Dunchka punch him down? He's going to try. Yule says no. Then the fight breaks out elsewhere. The Lesh actually gets out. That is something that should not have happened. And now the Burrow on 2. Coming through with a vengeance. Skeeter going to bring down Peksu next. His BKB has ended. Can they punish him? He's got the Yule Scepter, though, and Mage can't engage. They do have the Jug buying back with an Omni Slash. Everything thrown at Skeeter, and they the disruption, keeping him alive for now, but spinning now with the Shockwave. They'll get the kill. 3 have fallen. Somehow they did end up finishing off that Lesh. I guess Dinshka had to chase him to the ends of the earth. They've lost 4 heroes. He died here. They chased him all the way to the tier 1 mid.
I think he... never mind. But yeah, that's...
Why are they there not at Roche? I just told them that they were playing so well. They had the script. They forgot their lines, Cap.
Oh, there's no RP now.
If that doesn't better show, like, something's wrong with Singularity shot calling than that fight right there. And yet they still won it, which goes to show that they're team fight.
Yeah, the power of their late game lineup. Universe committing for this. Gets off a pretty big call. Do they have to follow? Fiver blinks in. Burrow Strike only connecting on the Juggernaut, but he has bought back. He cannot afford to die, and it looks like he's going to. Brought down by the dunk. He's out for 100 seconds. Mage rushing back, but Universe ready again with the call. There's the Yule Scepter, just setting up for round 2. BKB, TP out. He is gone, and they have found Dunchka as well. So that with Jug on the sidelines, this could just be the push down for some racks.
At this point in time, you pretty much traded like buybacks for a barracks, right? It's
2
like
barracks.
You managed to force buybacks out of Nip, and you're just going to have to give up buildings. And very likely give up, 2 lanes.
It's worth 1, it's not worth 2.
Yeah.
We'll say GunDaddy making a slight mistake. He's got that maxed out Pulse Nova. It's tons of damage, but he's always Oom now. He's got to be really careful in these fights, especially against Diffusal Manta on that Jug. Not Manta yet, sorry, he went on Yasha. And Razor now with 100 attack speed talent, he does some serious work onto these structures.
Oh, gee, but instant Yule Scepter, no skewer back, has caught out 3. The combo is so much damage. Can they survive through this Lesh out of the game for 100 seconds? Universe desperately trying to retreat out. PPD dead as well. NIP really need to get back. Dunchka is in. He's chasing forward, rolling in, trying to keep the damage flowing, pushing Skeeter back towards the cliff. Another roll once again, and there's the skewer. Everybody getting pushed around, and they get pushed right into a call. Universe again with the turn. A triple for Skeeter. Mage could be next. Tries to fight this one out. He's going for the cleaves, but the disruption's there. He just can't find a clean, decisive kill. This call won't connect. But the Burrow comes through. They're kiting him slowly but surely. Buybacks flying out. Mag's back in. CM's tapped back in. And NIP, they're getting the hell out.
They got overzealous. Like, you have to be able to look at this Razor and say, that is not a hero we really want to go for. They are already lucky enough that Nip took that fight in the way they did. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but like a Universe to try and stop what he thought was going to be a skewer back, blinked into the combo. He was like, oh god, they're going to skewer back. Instead, they were just doing the combo right there. And he blinks into all of that, and that's part of the reason that fight was like so bad for them.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a 2-hero RP. Oh wait, there's an X here. What happened?
The Singularity just, I mean, they just got way too greedy. It was a pretty good fight.
I have to point out, we've seen 10 buybacks. Nobody has buyback data.
Buybacks.
Yeah. Every single hero, and it's on cooldown for a while. We've got some, I think, still a few diebacks that haven't procced yet, so you need to be careful.
The soonest buyback will be Excalibur's just now, going past 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining.
I mean,
Roshan is up.
You should start playing around Roshan if you're in Singularity. I think
would hope.
You've got your cooldowns
Has Roche been up this whole time?
Roshan's been up in the entire time, yes.
What? This is the first Roche.
Yes.
What the? Hello? Hello, NIP? You had Jug dead for 100 seconds? You didn't go Roche?
Well, they thought they were
We've
going to
been
take advantage of
praising
the
their
timing.
patience, their discipline, their focus. We forgot Roche was in the game, and apparently so did they. I mean, to be fair, taking the racks looked like it would be clean, and then I think going for that second lane is they just underestimated how much damage Singularity could put out.
The clean play definitely would have been, like the super safe play would have been taking one lane, backing up, doing Roshan. I think you are supposed to go high ground, though, when you get the Jug dead with no buyback.
I definitely can't fault them for going for that first lane. I think the second lane is understandable, but it's definitely risky.
Yeah. A heart. Universe is
4,000
dude.
health.
Yo, Universe, what about that Aghanim Scepter? You fan of that one, bro? I think the Aghanim Scepter is actually kind of sick.
The damage reduction is no joke.
Yeah, I think that's the part that really makes it cool. Is 30% damage reduction, and then you get this in an AoE, and especially
and you're up
since
against 4 melee heroes, right? So
yeah, and you're close to your level of 25 talent too, so you can get the Battle Hunger TPS. Like that combined with the Aghanim Scepter is a sick talent. That's just me though.
So who's got this going? Who's got this going late?
I think it's still Singularity, but it's not at this point in the game. Like it's only 38 minutes into the game. You know, if this was like 45 minutes, or if it was an even net worth, then I would say Singularity for sure has the advantage. But
item progression has really ground to a halt for a lot of these heroes too. I don't think I've seen Kunkka pick up a significant item sometime. He does have the halberd now.
Yeah.
Hard to say if that's going to be a game changer though.
Meanwhile, Skeeter's got Satanic now. They gotta just ignore this Razor when possible. Just do everything you can to break the stable link. But
Dunchka breaking the smoke, but also getting caught out. There's the Yule Scepter, looking for the stun combo. Oh, Fiverr jumping in, gets a 2-hero burrow. He's gonna follow up with the Epi. Over the top comes the call. The boat's there as well. Everywhere, damage exploding outwards. The RP comes through, but these heroes are tanky. There's the cleave. There's the joke. They're not tanky enough. Excalibur shreds them. Looks for Fiverr, chops him up, spits him out, and now back for the Razor. Can he fight into this? They're also low. Saberlight sitting on like 3 HP. Somehow survives. Uni's in again. Saberlight can do not but watch from a distance as his friends perish. They chase for more. They've got a Yule Scepter cooling down. They can set up shop here.
Got drain in 3.
No buybacks, remember. These are long deaths. These are painful deaths. And that's number 4. See ya, Jug. Out for 90. Is that the end?
Dude, I swear to God, it's like Singularity make these plays to save an ally, and it just leads to them getting double stunned.
See, this is like the first time where I feel like your gravity speech would be really on point, because they all just get sucked in to one central location. Then the call comes out, holds them in position. They're stuck in orbit.
It's like,
and they're getting battered by asteroids from all directions. You know, UV rays, and they just explode.
It's like they're playing roulette, except instead of gambling at the casino, they're. What?
You lost your analogy there. Instead of the casino,
they're watching the roulette ball creep closer and closer, but they didn't bet on black or red.
3 heroes dead here for some time. NIP looks like they're going to be taking the qualifiers. Looks like they go to the Dota Summit 11. PPD's back in the Summit House. Congratulations.
Congratulations to NIP. 3rd major in the row for the squad led by Peter PPD Dagger, coming to try and make it a 3-peat. You've won 2 TIs.
This game broke my client. It couldn't handle the high load.
It's not the first or the last time
that we've struggled to handle a high load.
Who's won 2 TIs?
OG may have won 2 TIs, but no one, not a single soul has won 3 minors, let alone back to back to back. And Peter, he doesn't have a chance to do many things for the first time, but goddamn if he's not going to give it his all to be the first one to take the 3rd minor. Because as you know, 2 minors don't make a major, but 3 minors. Cap?
Don't pick up the fumble. Let him stumble.
God, I'm trying to set you guys up for success.
You know
all you had to do was have a line.
Thing where you drop the football and it bounces kind of weird, and then you go to you're walking
pick it
over
up, and then it just rolls the wrong way.
It bounces weird, bounces into your foot as you're walking forward. It stumbles
then you
forward.
Trip,
you're doing
get
the
covered by mud,
walking forward,
and then you finally get to it, and someone kicks it away. That's what we just did to poor Kyle here. I'm so sorry.
I'm trying, guys. It's a tough room, it's a tough crowd, but someone's got to do it.
Yeah, dude, I hope Singularity learns something from this, because there is one more slot left in this European qualifier, and that was really hard watching them make the same mistakes. Whether it was saving an ally or chasing enemies, Universe just had the freest game of his life. He's like, I'm just going to sit here and wait, and eventually they're just going to, I see a hero, we're going to run at it, and I'm going to get a call.
It was a 4 melee draft, so it should have been a good X game, but it was every fight was easy.
Look
Every
at the
fight
start
was
of that fight.
Yeah.
Remember the start of it? It was DNZ getting caught. Okay, that's fine. Magnus is kind of close to him. I don't know why, because he has Blink Dagger. He can go very far. A Force Staff from Crystal Main, Pexu, pushes DNZ right next to the Magnus. They get 2-man burrow struck. That's just terrible. Why is that positioning happening in the first place, right? But they're still saved by the grace of God because Nip run into the Magnus with their 2 most crucial heroes, which is their Leshrac and somebody else. I don't remember who it was.
Razor.
Was it Razor? I don't know. It was 2 heroes that got blown up pretty much by the Omni-Slash, right?
I thought you were saying they're most important.
They still managed to get that RP onto 2 very important heroes, the perfect heroes to blow up with an Omni-Slash and power combo, and make the fight okay, and they still managed to lose it. Their positioning lost them the fight, Nip gave it back to them, and then their positioning lost them the fight again. How many times are you going to make these mistakes?
As someone who watched his team make many mistakes, often the same ones, I'll tell you from a captain's perspective, Cap, you just don't know. You just don't know. Sometimes people do things and you don't understand why. It's sort of like kids, right? You have a kid and, maybe he puts his hand on the stove and it burns him. You think he learned his lesson. But then, later, there's a tea kettle on the stove and he thinks, okay, the stove's hot. That's on the stove. Is that hot? Oh, shit, yes, it is. You've got to fail in many different ways before the lesson really sinks in. Perhaps Singularity, they just haven't had enough time. But luckily, they're still in the qualifier. What is it, LD?
They're not done yet. That's
they're
the
not
important
done.
part. They're in the lower bracket finals here. They'll have one best of 3 against one of the 2 remaining teams with a shot to still come to the summit, as Europe does have 2 slots, and we'd be remiss if we didn't give them some uplifting advice from a very wise man from the community.
Never give up.
As Jack Chen once said, never give up, Singularity. You're not out of it yet, even if these guys have been roasting you. We've got more Dota left to be played, but we're done with Europe for today, guys. Stick around. I believe NA or SA is coming up next. Thanks for watching.